always tell when a streak's going to come to an end. You win a couple of games, you probably shouldn't.
There are teams out there that could use that quality of playoff goaltending. All right, Ray, you ready to do this?
Yep, let's go.
Powered by Reb Media in partnership with TSN, it is Season 7 of the Ray and Greg's Hockey Podcast, and it is presented by our title sponsor, Tim Hortons. NHL hockey cards are back with a fresh 234 card collection from Upper Deck. You can find your favorite NHL stars, their specialty inserts, rare autographed cards. You could even uncover a golden prize card for a VIP trip to the 2026 Stanley Cup Final, or for the first time ever, the possibility of winning a brand new car. Everybody needs a brand new car, especially when it's free and part of an unbelievable package. Compliments of our good friends at Tim Hortons. All right, hockey podcast, but obviously in the throes of the World Series, the Toronto Blue Jays doing what they're doing, we have to talk baseball. Games 4, 5, go to the Jays, Rays, you know. Game 5 on Wednesday night opens with Davis Schneider and Vladdy home runs. Trey Savage,
a good start.
And this kid just flat out pitch. I mean, he pitched a gem. And what's cool, and I know you're going to mock me for this, because I declined tickets to Game 1 of this series. I declined. I had to go to a buddy's cottage last Friday, I guess it was. There were
horrible decision.
6 other guys there. 5 of the 6 mocked me openly because I declined. But the upside is we know the World Series champion will be crowned in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. So there's still the possibility I might get an invitation to Game 6 or Game 7. I haven't yet.
Well,
and my schedule is clean.
Yeah, this sounds like a public plea, a begging. And I can't believe they would extend the offer again, just in case you had to change your oil or something, you know, like something important like that. Like, by the way, you know what I was thinking about Trey Savage yesterday? I'm watching him at 22 years old. He started in A-ball pitching against the Toledo Mud Hens or whoever he was pitching this year. And the way his rise through minor league ball to the bigs and very little regular season play, and then he's just been amazing in the playoffs. I'm trying to think of a hockey analogy. You know who I came up with?
No, go ahead.
Patrick Waugh.
Interesting. Yeah, sure.
I mean, in '86, when Patrick Waugh got called up, we were like, who is this guy? And he's always on his knees, and we'll just shoot it over his shoulders, and that'll be the end of him. And then he helped change the goaltending position. I'm not saying Savage is going to change the pitching profession, but what if he's as good as he looks? Like right now, it looked like he could have pitched for weeks yesterday, and the Dodgers were never going to touch him.
No.
He was marvelous, unbelievable to watch yesterday. And that comparison to a 20-year-old through the minors, Patrick Waugh, came to me somewhere, and I was like, yeah, it's pretty amazing to watch. Like he's just so
a good one.
Confident, man. So confident, so good.
So Halloween etiquette here. All right. Particularly for those in the East. I don't know what it's like for you in BC in terms of, you know, when the trick-or-treaters start arriving at the door.
6
normally
o'clock
because
usually.
Yeah, 6 p.m. Pacific. All right. I feel like it's a bit earlier here in the Eastern time zone. And, at least in our part of Ontario. You know, you get the little kids right after school around 4:30.
Sure. Yeah.
And then you get towards 7:30, 8, and the bigger kids, you know. And then you get to 8:30, and you've had enough. And you're looking at these 6-footers come to your door going, really? Like, come on, how old are you? Like, enough already. Anyway, my point is we've got Game 6 of the World Series. So what's the etiquette? At what point is it 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 Pacific, where you just go, okay, lights are off, kick the pumpkins into the bush, It's all over. We're done. What's the
Um,
etiquette?
no, see, we couldn't do that at 5 o'clock here. I mean, there's too many kids that it's a big day for, right? Halloween's fun. So, but I think in the East, you should put a sign on your door. First pitch is at 8:07. Beat it. Because anybody that can read that will be old enough to know, eh,
Yeah.
you know.
I just hope
if you do
I'm
that,
surrounded by families of Jays fans, though, right? Who clearly, like dad, mom, they want to get back. They want to get comfortable. Sort the
but you hear,
candies while you're
yeah,
watching
yeah,
the
but
opening
this is
pitch.
what's going to happen. I can see this at 8 o'clock, 8:05, 8:10. There's going to be some older kids that are going to
Yeah.
be playing ding dong ditch,
Oh yeah.
like crazy, and they're like, "Oh yeah, the old guy with the snowblower is going to be watching the ball game, ding dong," and they're going to be on your doorbell like crazy. I I
Wow.
think if you live in the Dragers neighborhood, I think you should do that.
All right. Well, let's see if this is an executed plan, and we'll revisit all of this coming up next Tuesday. All right, let's get into headlines, Ray, brought to you by the Canadian Brew House. Hockey lives at the Canadian Brew House, and obviously so does the World Series with the Toronto Blue Jays. Catch every game with beer specials, game day prizes, so much more, all at the best sports house in town. See in-store or at thecanadianbrewhouse.com for details on what your local brew house is up to this season. Toronto Maple Leafs played the lone game on the NHL schedule Wednesday night against the Columbus Blue Jackets. After the first Columbus goal, Ray, Craig Berube called a timeout. Now, in fairness to the process, he was trying to buy a little bit of time. There was a suspicion that maybe the play was offside, but he took advantage of the timeout call to deliver that stern message. Right, one more time. Let's get the feet moving. Like let's get going here. Let's not just accept a poor start, that sort of thing. We've seen this a lot from Craig Berube on the bench of the Toronto Maple Leafs. And post game, they sounded like they felt like they played a pretty good hockey game against Columbus. But if they don't get 2 late goals, it's a wash. You can blame it. I mean, Cayden Primeau wasn't very good in goal for the Maple Leafs, but there is this established trend from this club. They talk about defending against the rush, but it's odd man rush after odd man after odd man. I mean, are you seeing it the same thing? And how fixable is all of this?
Yeah, I'm seeing it. I guess my concern would be that the holes were pretty obvious at the beginning of the year, and there's always optimism at the beginning of any season, and you hope that you can play around those spots in the lineup.
Yeah.
Whatever happened, and the story was written, and now it's the book has been closed on Mitch Marner. You miss him, not just the 100. You don't miss just the 100 points. He's a good player. He can play without the puck. He's a really responsible player. I think he helped Matthews a great deal. Matthews looks stuck in the mud. And so we can talk around the edges of the lineup all you want. It's like any team. If the best players aren't out front, you're probably going to have some problems. I would worry that the rush chances don't seem to be registering with the players that, hey, this is something we've got to take care of. A lot of times you give up rush chances because you're so thinking about offense that you cheat in 4 or 5 feet. It's not like you're cheating in by 20 feet. It's like just a couple of strides, and all of a sudden puck's past you, and it's another 3-on-2 or 3-on-1 or whatever it is. I'd also be concerned that there's only so many ways the coach can structure a message of wake the F up. Like there's only so many ways you can say it. And then what do you do? And, this has been enough. What are they, 12 games in, Drake? Something like that?
Yeah,
11,
12
I think, games. So, yeah. And so if you've seen this half of the time already, I would say, like at 5 of the games, there's been this sort of thought when you watch it.
Yeah.
Cayden Primeau's one story. I mean, Joe Wool's back with the team, and hopefully he's able to get back on the ice in a competitive fashion, and they can split the goaltending a little bit more like they would have liked to have. I think that would help Stolarz. He's, you're asking anybody to play as regularly as he was is, it's just, there's very few guys that can do that.
Right.
It's not been an impressive start. It's not a death march, but it's concerning for sure. And it's also concerning because how are you going to fix the problems? How many teams would, well, here's the thing. Maybe if there's enough teams like Toronto, maybe there can be some player movement.
Maybe
where like you need a little bit of a market to build. So you would look and go, oh, maybe there's 4 or 5 teams that are a little unsettled, and they're like, maybe that piece can help us, so we make a move. That might be one way you would address it.
How long would you leave Easton Cowan in the mix? And by leaving him, I guess it depends on what you describe as meaningful minutes.
Well, I was going to just ask you, what's your cutoff?
Yeah. I mean, maybe it's a better environment for him if things don't turn around in the very near future to go to the Marlies and, be a power play contributor, play bigger minutes as a forward, all situations, as part of the development.
There's no list of players that have stayed in the American League too long and lost their NHL game. There's no list because it doesn't happen. There's a longer than my arm of players that started too early, lost their confidence, and it's taken them 3 years to get it back, or they never get it back because they go down, they come up, they go down, they come up. Pretty soon they don't even know what they are anymore. They know when they come up, they better be almost perfect, so they don't try to make any plays, and they become, as many general managers refer to as a jag, which is just a guy. And he's just like, he's just a guy. He's like, the guy comes up, he goes down, he comes up, he goes down. And you wouldn't want that for Cowan. There's plenty to really like in his development future. So unless you can find him a regular spot, it's probably best not to be around too long. Here's the thing: if you're in San Jose or Chicago, it is ball hockey. It's freedom. And I'm not saying they're not playing with any structure or they're not trying to do the right thing, but they're all a bunch of young kids with no expectation for playoffs. So they can, if you make a mistake, you make a mistake. You don't have any scar tissue on you. If Easton Cowan makes a mistake and it ends up in the net, do you think they're going to say, hey, good try, and go out there again? No, he's going to have to sit because the games and the points are too important. In San Jose and Chicago, they're just building still. So those kids go up there, they turn the puck over, they come back to the bench. The coach says, hey, a puck's got to go deep. You guys are up. That doesn't happen with teams with expectation. And that's the tug and the pull that the Leafs will get into if they're not already with Cowan.
John Tavares on the other side of the spectrum became the 49th player in NHL history to hit the 500 goal mark. I don't know. I haven't looked at the 48 other celebrations yet, but I mean, the game is over, right? And he chips one in late. It was a nice play by Matthew Nyes to set him up. But you could tell that, and Tavares talked about his teammates and the coaches that he's had, and he acknowledged all the help that he's had throughout his career to reach this milestone after the game. But as soon as he scored it, he just circled into the corner and like, all right, let's just get this game over with, which is too bad when you look back at the career of this 35-year-old and everything that he's accomplished.
I think most milestones are best celebrated in the summer or at the end of your career when you look back and go, wow, that was really cool. In the moment, how many celebrations really have? I think of 2 celebrations. Now, of course, I'm missing 100, but I'm thinking of 2 that stand out to me of milestone goals. One, of course, is Ovi's last year, and he should have celebrated that because he's the greatest scorer of all time. The other
Mm-hmm.
was when Mike Bossy scored his 50th goal in 50 games, when he's basically running across the ice. He's so happy. Like I remember those clearly. Most other ones, a guy gets 600 goals, 400 goals, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I don't really recall them. And um, when you're getting spanked like that last night, I mean, he's happy. Of course he is. And he's understanding of the milestone for sure, but that's not in a player's personality to, I don't think, to make a bigger deal
Mm-hmm.
out of it than that.
No. A touching story that I know you wanted to discuss. And I would invite anybody watching on YouTube or listening to the Ray and Dregs Hockey Podcast to check out the Instagram account, bmarch63. So it's Brad Marchand. And he posted a video on Wednesday night acknowledging the loss of 10-year-old Sela Panache-McCollum, who passed away on Friday after a real courageous and lengthy battle with cancer. Marchand took a leave, as we know, Ray, from the Florida Panthers to be with the family in Halifax, close friends with Sela's father, JP, who was also the head coach of the Marchand Mill Company Hunters, a U18, under 18 team. So Brad was on the bench last night in JP's place, flanked by his buddies. And like, he's there to support JP, his buddies, the family. He's there to respect and honor the short life of Sela. He's there to try and raise some funds, all of that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we'd like to say, well, yeah, most people would do that. But most people aren't top-level hockey players playing in the National Hockey League early in the NHL regular season. For him to take the leave, granted a short leave, he'll be back, he'll be playing on the weekend, speaks to the character, does it not, of Brad Marchand and the type of person he is.
It does for sure. It also, I think, is an illustration that there's a hell of a lot more going on in the people you see on TV in their lives than you would think. And for all the money and fame and notoriety that they get, the same issues are there for the most part that everybody else with in their life. And so I thought it, like, he did it for no other reason than it was the right reason, right?
Agreed.
If nobody ever found out about it, do you think he would have still gone? Of course.
Of course.
Was gone. But he went there to support his friends and their families or family. And, I don't know. I see a story like that, and we spend not we here, but we read a lot about stuff that goes sideways and is not pleasant. That stuff gets headlines. This stuff should get headlines because it's just I don't know. It's just another example of there are many, many, many fine people around the sport that we don't often talk about for some of the great things they do. There are people that go and do things anonymously all the time, and they do not want, and it's a condition of them doing it, that nobody finds out. And we hear about it because you happen to be around the teams, but I just thought we should mention it for sure.
Absolutely. All right. Well, Tuesday on the podcast, we cursed 3 teams. Kind of.
Yes.
Hopefully it's short
tough
term.
to do that. It's tough to do that in one podcast.
It's all our fault. But let's hope that the negativity is fleeting. But we praised Ottawa on Tuesday. Travis Green, brilliant coach. We praised Utah. We should. At that point, they had won 7 in a row. We talked about the New Jersey Devils heater, 8 wins in a row. And Pittsburgh, starting with the captain, Sidney Crosby, and just how well the Penguins would play. And they all lost on Tuesday. So in some small, minuscule way, maybe we just kind of put some bad mojo their way or something like that.
Well, the similarity to the first 3 was they all got pounded. Like Ottawa gave up 7, Utah gave up 6. Like Jersey, what did they give up? 8. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't
Yeah,
even close. We just wiped those guys right off the planet. Like that was, oh yeah, Ottawa's really got their defensive game in order. Whoops.
Oh, Greeny
7-3.
loves defense.
Yeah. Whoops. Sorry about that, fellas. I do have to say the Pittsburgh game that I did in Philly turned into one of the wildest overtimes.
It was fun.
It was, well, it was, it would have been fun to watch. It was absolute chaos as we were doing it. So there was, for people that didn't see it, they're tied 2-2. They go to overtime. Each team scored a goal that got waved off. Pittsburgh, because Malkin jumped on the ice 30 feet in front of the goalie coming off. It wasn't even close. And he scored. So that becomes not too many men. That becomes an illegal substitution. So that goes on. But they get a power play. At the end of the power play, Malkin takes a slashing penalty. Philly gets a power play. Tyson Forster scores, but that's offside. So that gets wiped out. Then at the end of overtime, Parker Wotherspoon skating off the ice. He bumps into Forster. Forster turns around and slashes him in the back of the legs. Wotherspoon goes back at him, and now there's this melee scrum going on. And at the end of it, Zegras didn't like it, so he goes over while Nola Chari's on all fours and pops him twice in the back of the head. I don't think Zegras thought Achari was going to jump up like that. It was like a whack-a-mole, and all of a sudden Achari was on his feet and Zegras was backing up. And I said in the game, he better hope that linesman doesn't find something else to do, because Achari can do some damage. That was not a fair fight. You know how Colby Armstrong always talks about the game notes? Look at the game notes on the other guys. You got to know if that's the guy you're popping, he's going to get back up. So at the end of that, you got to remember, the game is over. It's tied. They're going to go to a shootout. Crosby jumps on the ice. He's standing right in front of me, going to argue about the penalty.
Yeah.
Or what's going on in the scrum. Malkin comes out of the penalty box. There's about 15 guys on the ice, but Crosby, by rule, shouldn't have been there. So he gets a misconduct. And I see him saying to the linesman, what the are you guys, are you serious? Like, he's lost it. And so they escort him down the tunnel. He's gone. Zegras gets escorted. He's gone. So but there's no announcement in the arena. Nobody would know where. So when this shootout's going on, like the two guys you would expect in it, they're not in it. It was mayhem. And so Philly ended up winning. And it was turned out to be a pretty fun night.
Nah, no kidding. It's been a weird week. So also a bit of noise around the Vancouver Canucks in a morning skate on Tuesday, right before the New York Ranger game. Now, my understanding is that Vancouver had one practice in 16 days at that point. Now, they've got lots of injuries, so young guys are in the lineup. So Adam Foote, the head coach, after running a couple of teaching drills earlier, the skate is about to wind down, wrap up. He wants to get their legs going at that point. So does the old blue line to red line and back 3-2-1 at the end of the skate. And it caught the attention of certain media members. You know, what are you doing? You know, this kind of stuff is junior hockey-ish and all of that. And look, I want your opinion on this, because we're not used to seeing that, to be fair. Period. But in a morning skate, it's unusual, and I think that's being nice. But the 3-2-1 aside, you know, isn't that a byproduct of a condensed schedule and the fact that these teams just don't have practice time? They don't have practice time to work on anything, or as I said earlier, get the legs going.
Well, you said, you know, because they had some injuries. I think it's important to note at that time, they had 7 guys out of the lineup. 7 guys that would be playing are out. Garland got hurt, so now they have 8 out going into St. Louis. So the teaching drills are like, we got a whole bunch of new guys here that don't even know the system. So that's why they ran a couple of those drills. Every coach, without fail, that we've talked to this season, that when I get to go do the games, we get a 5-minute little chat with them before. Every coach has mentioned lack of practice time. Every coach. They've mentioned that, or they're all really quick. None of them can, or not none of them, some of them won't tell us the starting goaltender, but every one of them can tell you 17 games in 24 days or 16 games in 30. Like, they all know how condensed this thing is. And so, one practice in 16 days for Vancouver. I'm sure they're in St. Louis today. I'm sure if you went and talked to Jim Montgomery, he'd say, yeah, it would be nice to practice because they haven't done very well of late. I'm sure they'd like to work on a couple of drills. The only time you have is in the morning skate. Vancouver played 3 games in 4 days. You're not going to practice on the off day. Like,
right.
You need some time off. It was unusual to see, and I can say as a player, I would have been like, whoa, I don't want to do this. Right. But when you say 3-2-1, so people understand, you start at one blue line.
Yeah.
And you go to the red line or to the far blue line, and it's 1, 2, 3. And then you go 1, 2, and then you go 1. That's it.
Yeah.
Like it's not, I still wouldn't have been jumping up and down to do it because I hated morning skates, couldn't stand them. But we used to practice too.
Yeah.
Right. And these guys, they get kind of, coaches use the morning skate, I think, more as a minuscule practice now than they ever have because they're just not on the ice any other time.
Right. Okay, let's wrap up the Canadian Brewhouse headlines with some big extension news this week, right? I mean, Tuesday night, Thomas Harley extension ultimately is announced. 8 years, just under $10.8 million. And then Cooley gets the 8-year, $80 million deal out of Utah. And automatically, I think the response, and correct me if I'm wrong here again, but is, ooh, geez, that's a lot of money. But what I'm getting in following up on these things is, okay, it's a lot of money. Obviously, it's a lot of money. And, they're heavily front-loaded deals. There's some signing bonus and all of that. So these players get their big money up front, essentially, the early part of the contract. But with the cap rising, who knows what the salary cap is going to look like 5 years from now? Like Logan Cooley might look like a steal. Thomas Harley might look like, at 10.58, whatever it is, he might look like a hell of a bargain as a top defenseman in the National Hockey League.
For sure. The numbers were interesting to me with the discussion of players leaving money on the table to help the team.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, Blaine Hudson signed, they got him to sign for what, 8 in Montreal. And so you understand the difference in the take home pay between Harley and Hudson.
It's a big number. Yeah.
It's a big number. So I think that's the thing that I noticed the most. The numbers, Dregs, the numbers don't mean much to me right now because I don't have my spidey sense on what it's going to be, because there's going to be this rapid rise and then it'll flatten out and, it'll always find a new level. But man, Cooley looks like a hell of a player, right? Like, clearly the owner there is not scared to spend. They're going to be at the cap for sure. I did love Harley's quote in his presser when he was talking about the deal. They said, how's that going to change? He says, oh, probably not at all. I'll go home and throw a frozen pizza in the oven. And like, I just thought it was like, the guys there, you got to remember, these guys are like in their early 20s.
Right.
Like, he's like, nah, I don't know. Like, I got a game tomorrow and I'm going to hang out at home and watch a baseball game. And, like, it's, those are big numbers though. And good for those guys.
Well,
good for them.
I'm thinking that the agent, Andy Scott, will have Tom Ghilardi and Jim Nill on his Christmas card list forever, right? Because Andy represents Thomas Harley, Mikko Rantanen, and Wyatt Johnston.
Oh, that's
just to name 3 in Dallas alone.
Tidy piece of business. Now, when you bring up Dallas, one thing we should mention, although I don't quite get the details of it is messy in Dallas between the Mavericks, the basketball team, and the Stars, and the Mavericks sued the Stars sued the Mavericks. It's a mess, and it is inconceivable that after 2031 that the city of Dallas might have no professional sports teams.
Just bonkers.
Crazy. Like they all might move just outside of Dallas, but nonetheless, that would be a big empty warehouse if that all comes to fruition.
Yeah, it does feel like they'll figure it out, and this is just what billionaires do in trying to map through these things. But if it were to happen, holy smokes, it would be ugly. All right, those are your headlines. Thank you to the Canadian Brewhouse. Time for Ask Ray and Dregs Anything. You can send us your questions on X and Instagram at Ray and Dregs, or on the website rayanddregs.com. And we're going to bring Ryan Rishaug in to help us through. And I think Zuby will step in as well, because we've got the Tim's NHL Challenge to remind people of. But Ryan, I'll let you manage it from here. We're going to do the NHL Challenge, or you want to do Ask Ray and Dregs first?
Well, let's quickly get through the NHL Challenge. I know you guys, you've missed rapid fire because you've both individually told me that it's your favorite part of the show, and we haven't done one in a bit here. So we're going to have a rapid fire coming up. So let's burn through the challenge real quick. Zuby, you got an update for us? I know somebody had a big night last show day. Somebody went 2 for 3.
We got a new. Are you talking about me? Because I went 2 for 3 also. No, we do have a new leader in the internal competition here.
Oh, who's that? Who is it?
Oh, it's this handsome fellow over here on the left, to screen left. That's Mr. Ray Ferraro. Him and I both chose wisely.
Wow.
On the 28th with Kyle Connor and Yuri Slavkovsky. Another 2 for 3. So Ray jumps out to the lead internally here. He's gone 7 for 18. Man, that's good. That's pretty good. Up to 175
Smoking
points.
Hot.
Dregs had Gabe Velarde come through for him, actually, of his picks on Tuesday.
Yeah.
And Dregs is at 6 for 18. And Schauger was really lagging behind, but this guy, you may have heard of this guy, Connor McDavid. He got a goal, and Morgan Frost came through for Schauger as well. So he's managed to pull close. He's 5 for 18, 125 points. So it's all within one night, Schauger. One night you get the 3-banger one night, the elusive 3-banger, which nobody's had yet, and you could jump right out into the front there. And the Ray and Dregs account, let me just say, humble brag, 6-day heater I'm on now. I've connected on 6. I've got 16 correct total overall, and I've got us up to 24% winning accuracy there. So
you know what, Zuby and Dregs, I don't know if you noticed, but Ryan would have had 3 for 3, but Rick Kehoe didn't score.
My goodness, we're gonna have to let this go at some point. This is just crushing my credibility. I made a quick pick without looking. I got fat fingers. I hit the wrong guy. It wasn't even my fault. Reminder, the Tim's NHL Hockey Challenge is back on the Tim Hortons app. I'm doing the ad read. Stop chirping me.
Sorry.
Chance to win daily and monthly prizes for picking players who you think will score. Plus, there's a chance to win a new Hyundai Tucson season-ending grand prize. Ray, I feel like this is the first year where you're truly respecting me as the boss on this show, because I've snapped at you a few times this year, and both times you've been like, okay, sorry, which that was not your reaction before.
Well, because you brought up you're doing a sponsor read, and
yes,
it's the very important that if it were something else, forget it. Like, this is
How about this one? Oh, I wish we'd have grabbed a screenshot. We were trying to line up a show time, and I sent a text to the Randrex chat and was like, how's Monday or Tuesday and Thursday work? Zuby, what was Ray's response? It was 2 words.
I'm working, you clown.
Working, you clown, was what I got back, because it happened to be while you're
I
between
love
the
that.
benches.
So as I've mentioned, like when my phone, I get a text, you got to read it. Sometimes it's from the producer because there's multiple things going on. So I look and it's the chat, and I'm like, hey, is Tuesday and Thursday good? I don't know. The freaking game started here. I don't care. Just schedule it whenever you want.
Yeah, just an alternative thought. You could just ignore it till you have time to respond, but that's fine. It's by all means
because
tee off.
We could, as you say about this question or about the screenshot, then I get a question mark and then another question mark. We've seen that happen too.
Zuby, let's get to rapid fire. I want to put you on the spot here, Zubes. Do you have some sort of game show theme music at your disposal? You got something right under your fingers there you can rock and roll with for the...
Oh, yeah. We can come up with
let's
something.
roll it. Roll the theme music. Time for rapid fire with Ray and Dregs. Nice work, Zuby. All right, by the way, I do have the whistle at my fingertips here. So anything more than 5 or 6 seconds and you're getting whistled, let's roll through it here. We all got stuff to do. Talking hockey with people on a day that you are off work. Okay, rather not, or avoid at all costs. Ray, you're up.
Rather not depends on the circumstance. If we're out for dinner, no.
Dregs?
Okay. It happens 310 times a year. Days.
You get more than 50 days a year off. Anyways, the 5 teams...
talking to people.
Yeah.
Anyway.
The 5 teams at 16 points this season, who's most impressive? Montreal, New Jersey, Pittsburgh, Utah, Colorado. Ray?
Colorado as a cup contender. Utah, because they're flat out fun. Would have never thought Pittsburgh was there. Montreal is fun too. I'm for fun teams.
Yeah, I'm with Montreal. I think that this team is for real. Pittsburgh, Utah, I feel are probably going to come back to the pack, but Montreal.
Most underperforming team this season. Not to say that they can't turn it around. They may still be able to turn it around, but who would you say would be an underperforming team to this point in the season? I don't know, candidates. I don't know, Edmonton, Tampa, Mini. Who do you want to go with? Ray?
I'm gonna say Mini. I thought they would be better out of the gate. They've really. It's not just that they've lost; it's the way that they've lost. They don't look really good. I picked Tampa to win the Eastern Conference. I'm not happy with my pick at this moment.
You almost got the whistle. You almost got the whistle. Go ahead, Dregs.
Just sit there in your
Bay.
meditation spot.
Dregs, your turn.
Tampa Bay. I mean, they faced some early adversity, but starting to come back online now.
Walking with your friend and his dog. The dog does its business. He forgot to bring a baggie. You're exactly 7 minutes from home. Do you, remember, you're the friend here, insist that you go back and get a bag in return? Do you let him leave it? It's his problem, and the judgment is on him alone. Or do you wait for another dog owner to come by and ask if they have an extra? Insist on that. What is your play, Dregs? You're often walking dogs.
Yeah. Well, that would never happen to me because I keep my pockets stuffed with bags. Because
even if you're walking with a friend's dog? Remember, you're the friend here. It's your friend's dog.
I get it, but I mean, I have that little thing that attaches to the leash. So there's like 50 bags. I give him one. If you don't have a bag,
your leash.
No, he's saying you don't have your dog.
Oh,
you're
I
with
still
your
have
friend.
them in my pocket. No, I have them in my pockets anyway. I do.
You
I'm
walk
not
around with dog do bags in your pockets at all times?
Yes.
What are you doing?
I don't think he understood the assignment here. Ray, what about you?
Well, I'm curious. Do you have them in your suit when you're sitting on the desk?
No, when I'm walking the dog.
Just in case somebody takes a dump beside the desk?
You never know what O-Dog is going to do on set.
I wear the same jacket every day. Well, that is plausible. I wear the same jacket to walk Tiny basically every day.
Yep.
All right,
quick question, Ryan.
Ray,
Ryan,
yep.
I know
Quick,
it's got to be
I'll
quick.
allow it.
Are you on the street or are you in the trails?
Sidewalks. You're on sidewalks. Neighborhood sidewalks.
Ooh, tough one. It's his problem.
Yeah. Additional
Socks,
items we need to knock
underwear,
over.
peel something off and scoop it.
Find some leaves. Do a work. Don't
Okay.
leave it. But his problem.
You can be a scratch golfer until you're 70, but you are immediately violently allergic to both sugar and alcohol. Are you doing that deal? Plausible. Ray, are you doing that deal?
Yes. 100%.
I mean, life's immediately better. No sugar, no alcohol, and you're a hell of a golfer. It'd be tough. Dregs?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I would, just because of what you said, health-wise, right? If you eliminate those things at 70, then there's a good chance you're going to live to 90.
Ray,
or 72.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Just go hard. As soon as the golf game is gone, what's the point anyway? Yeah. Ray, if you could fix one flaw of Darren's, what would it be?
That coughing thing that he does.
Honest answer. Dregs, if you could fix one,
I would fix it.
Yeah, Dregs, if you could fix one flaw of your own, what would it be?
Of my own or Ray's?
Yeah. No, yours. If you could fix, we're focused on you right now, Darren.
Oh, yeah, for sure, the cough. But
okay.
I mean, I blame modern medicine because I've seen 15 doctors in 15 years. It's their fault.
Okay, Dregs, your turn. What is your favorite thing about Ray?
Thoughtfulness, big heart.
Yeah, the guy does have a big heart. I agree with that. All right, last one. Halloween gets erased entirely. It's gone. No more costumes, no more candy, no more spooky themed commercials. Gone. Good riddance. Feel bad for the kids, but still good riddance. Nah, leave it be. It's harmless. Or leave my Halloween alone, you grumpy fun police. Okay?
What do you think, Dregs?
Good riddance. I'm over it.
I knew you were going to say that.
Riddance.
I would say good riddance if you could take Valentine's Day with it.
Oh, wow.
Good point.
I'm sending this to Cammie.
We noticed Valentine's Day on the 17th of February. We're like, oh, whoops, missed it.
Well, you guys might not know this, but we have a Halloween weenie on the show. Zuby, go ahead and roll the video. Guess whose house this is the outside of this Halloween? Look at this ridiculous amount of money, time, energy, expense that is in front of the Zuby household this year.
Oh, that's Zuby's for sure. That's Zuby's for sure.
You pay $500 a month for storage? Like,
well, no, that's why I go with the, as Strutty loves to call them, blow-up dolls. The inflatables, they store very nicely. And
Zuby, good for you. Good for you. You got young kids. You make the spirit. I like it.
That's right. And you know, we're right across the street from the elementary school here, and we get every day we get so many kids walking by out front as they go into school. Like literally my kid's school is across the street. So we get the blow-ups going early, and the kids love it, and lots of the daycares and stuff nearby as they come by, they really enjoy it. So I like to do it.
Yeah, and based on the money, all you give out is like bruised rotten apples because you can't afford to buy candy.
And cut in half, Dregs too. I can't.
You're lucky.
It's not.
You're lucky that's not across the street from a junior high, because I know what I would have done in grade 8 with someone near the school with that.
Oh yeah, they'd be slashed. And also, just on the cost, I add one every year. So it started small. So the cost is like one new edition each year. So it hasn't been prohibitive.
Your hydro bill's $11,000 annually based on Halloween.
And your kids are young. He's got another 7 blow-up dolls to add over the next little bit here. All right, that was Rapid Fire with Ray and Dregs. By the way, before I leave you, Dregs, I'm leaving you both with the solution for tonight and Halloween in the ball game. Randine and I will have a propane fire pit on the driveway. We will run a cable out, big screen TV, and the neighbors and I will fire up a little outdoor fire, ball game on, sitting around in a circle with the candy sitting there, greeting the neighbors and inviting anybody that wants to stay and watch an inning or two to do so.
Okay, you know
Good
what?
For you.
That is remarkably great neighborship and community building, and that will never happen that'll never happen at the Ferraros. No chance. No, but I'm just saying I wish I could be that thoughtful. Not going to happen.
That would require you to talk hockey on an off day, Ray, and we know that's not your jam.
No, I said during dinner. Beat it. Hey, go meditate.
I got to go to Winter practice. See you guys.
Excellent.
See ya. Thanks, Ryan.
Marchand.
See ya.
Not at all surprised by his Halloween planning, to be fair. Like that's kind of what he does. Yeah.
It's really kind of great. Like I'm not even, aside from poking fun at myself, like,
yeah,
I wish I would, be that. I'd be like, extension cord, pull out the teeth. No, I'm not doing that.
Same, man. I just, it doesn't stress me out. It tires me out just thinking about all the unnecessary work. That's what it is. Hey, by the way, before we wrap up this podcast, my buddy Matt Hanley, again, the owners of the local Tim Hortons, listens to this podcast religiously. So do many of his buddies. So they acknowledged the shout out. I guess it was Tuesday. And Matt, in return, said, you know what? Tim Hortons does not have the Tim Hortons coffee packets. I think he referred to them as coffee sticks. But he did say, because of Ray Ferraro's situation, I'm taking it up with head office.
Oh, it would be amazing.
Yeah.
It would be amazing.
Yeah. Well, it's a good idea. I mean, you don't have many good ideas outside of hockey. But this is
very few.
This is a good one.
Very few. Yeah. Thank you.
All right,
Thank
so you're back. You're back in Vancouver. We've already talked about the Jays and Halloween. What's the weekend look like?
I'm home for the weekend. I've been gone 14 of the previous 17 days, and so I am so pumped to be home. I'm here till next Wednesday. Reese has our younger guy has a soccer playoff game today for school, so we're pretty excited for that. And then the weekend, and I don't have to go anywhere till next Wednesday. I'm back to Pittsburgh, and so this is a great weekend. How about yourself?
Not a lot going on. Relatively quiet again. Baseball on the brain. A little bit of work today, being Thursday with insider trading. But no, just hockey and baseball. That's all we've got going this weekend. Looking forward.
It's a good one. It's a good one. I hope everybody has a great weekend. Go watch the Jays. Hope they can wrap it up, and we will talk to you all next week.
You bet. Thank you to our sponsors, Ray, who continue to support the Ray and Dregs Hockey Podcast. Title sponsor, Tim Hortons, thank you. And thank you to the Canadian Brewhouse. Till next time, happy Halloween. Stay safe, everybody.